minus 30 seconds. T minus 20 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Good.
You ready for do more in the future? Trap Talk podcasts?
Yes.
Man.
Only Trap Talk. Exclusive.
Yes.
Exclusive. Oh.
So stop calling us.
Rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the crop, gotta love it or not. I'm hot from the hop to the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with everybody, we do it. Everybody, we do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up.
You are now tapped into the coolest reptile podcast in the world. You're now tapped into Trap Talk with MJ, new breeder on the block series. What is good, everybody? Woo, I am ready to go. Happy Monday. Yes. This year, excuse me. This is your first time tapping in. What is good? I'm your boy MJ. Do me a favor. Definitely yourself a favor. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell. That way you're on top of every single podcast I drop here on the Snake Trap Sessions channel. I come out with 4 podcasts a week, and then I drop a vlog every Saturday. I'm not a professional, but I like doing it. So check it out. If you're into reptiles, this is something you're going to want to subscribe to 110%. And then more importantly, if you like what you're listening to, you want to show some respect to the guest, hit that like button. That like button goes further than you think. It means a lot if you smash that like button. So thank you so much. Texas, if you're in the building, you already know you should hit that like button before you even start listening to my voice. Out of respect. Texas fucks with Texas. You feel me? But very excited for tonight's episode, man. Just met this couple recently. But yeah, before we get into things and say hi to the early birds and whatnot, you guys know how we start things. No matter what the series is, we always start things correct. And I only flex the best sponsorships in the game, like Cold Blooded Cafe, freshest and bestest rodents delivered to your doorstep, day one pinks to the mammoth rats, professionally packed. The whole packaging is recyclable. That's awesome. So got to say, thank you so much, Desiree and Steven, for everything that you do. Thank you for sponsoring the trap. Thank you for supplying all these amazing rodents to our lovely children's, for people who don't have, I don't have kids. So these reptiles are my kids, so thank you for feeding my children's. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. That's my family, Cold Blooded Cafe. Go check them out on Instagram. Go to their website. More family members for sure. Got John and Alex. I get a lot of compliments on my monitors. People are like, oh my God, they're getting huge. What are you guys feeding them? I'm on the Sims program, baby. That's what that is. I work closely with Alex and John, and I do everything that they tell me to do to the T. And that's what, I give my monitor game credit to people like John and Alex at Sim Container, and then their good friend Andrew Acevedo, Stephen Cush. We're a tight-knit group, man. But more importantly, Sim Containers is the best solution when it comes to hatching anything out of an egg. These are the best egg boxes I've used personally. Less steps. You don't have to worry about substrate. Egg box best scenario is a Sim. If it's a Sim, it's a win. Shout to John. Shout to Alex. Thank you so much for supporting the trap and for creating such an awesome design for us herpers out there. It means a lot. And then shout out to Focus Cube Habitats, Texas all day. Man, they just moved into a new facility. Congratulations, Stephen and Ashley. But I'm sure they're just busy, dude. I mean, these guys are just grinding nonstop. I still haven't even brought them on the show yet, and that's like a huge bucket list. They're definitely overdue. So we'll get them on the show soon. But shout out to Steven, shout out to Ashley. Please, go check them out. PVC built enclosure. They're doing things on their own, like custom way, which I love it, man. They're breaking the mold. They're thinking outside the box and really doing things differently with their enclosures. I cannot wait to get some of their new heat inside my room and get my animals out of their tubs into their beautiful brand new built Focus Cube habitats. But guys, go check them out on Instagram. Go check out their website. Let them know MJ sent you. And yeah, man, I'm telling you right now, I cannot wait to have this room decked out completely all Focus Cube habitats. It's going to happen very soon. And I'm going to vlog all about it. So shout out to Jesse and the Freedom Breeder crew, stainless steel racks made in the United States. I mean, all due respect, nothing beats Freedom Breeder, in my opinion. I mean, look at Kabelka, right? Justin Kabelka, shout out to Canova. He just followed me on Instagram, by the way. Woof! What a day. But anyways, he has a brand new facility, could have done anything, could have gone any route. And what did he do? He went Freedom Breeder, everything Freedom Breeder. Just saying. I mean, obviously it's not cheap. I'm just now getting my very first 2 Freedom Breeder racks. It was not easy. It took me over 4 years. I still can't technically afford them. I just sold some shit and, flipped some shit and and now I'm getting them. But Freedom Breeder's where it's at, man. I'm telling you right now, anybody who I've gone and see collection wise and seen their collection with Freedom Breeder racks, I mean, I'm obsessed. I love them. So shout out to Jesse, shout out to the entire Freedom Breeder crew. Keep doing what you guys are doing, man. Big things. Shout out to Miguel Garcia, Always Evolving Pythons. Definitely one of the biggest influencers for any new people into this game. Anyone who comes across this guy's channel gets super inspired. And then on top of that, if you're into ball pythons and you do not follow him on Instagram or know his seen his morph market or just have an idea what he works with, I highly suggest you go check him out right now. This guy is doing big things nonstop. Shout out to my boy Miguel Garcia. Shout out to Tina. Shout out to Jesse. Shout out to the whole entire freedom. Shout out to the whole entire Always Evolving Python family. You guys are hella big family. Cannot wait to hang out with you guys soon. And yeah, appreciate you guys' support. Big love all day, every day. And shout out to my man Alan from Amazing Basins. If you're into arboreal snakes and especially if you're into basins, obviously, go follow my man Alan from Amazing Basins. This guy's working with some of the most beautiful lines of basins. He has Ed Marino stock. He has some Steve Volk stock, I believe, as well. I hope I'm not, mislabeling any of your stock. But anyways, he has some of the best lines in his collection, man. I'm telling you, and he's provenly he has provenly bred basins. This year's looking really good. So that being said, go give him a follow on Instagram. If you really want to be passionate about what he's into and possibly get on one of his wait lists, then go join his Patreon page. All those links are on his Instagram, and go give him a follow. Let him know your boy MJ sent you. My boy Alan, I appreciate you, Alan. The shout out to my Blake Stewart over at Stewart Designs. If you're into this for a full-time gig, you should really consider your brand. You should really consider how you're going to brand yourself if you want to take this shit to the professional route. You got to understand why Kabelka did what he did, why Garrett Hartle invested into new branding, all this through Stewart Design. So that being said, like I said, if you want to take this shit to the next level, you're really to invest in your name, hit up my boy Stewart Design, see what he can do for you, but come correct. He's not going to help you design a sticker or anything like that and help you get, a couple followers. This guy will really change your life if you come correct. So my boy, Blake Stewart, thank you so much, Blake. Appreciate your support. And these 2 big dogs right here. I mean, the game wouldn't be the game without these 2 guys throwing the shows that they throw. So I want to say heavy shout to my boy Rami from Reptile Super Show. Cannot wait for the next show, my big dog. I never have a bad time at a Reptile Super Show. That's for damn sure. Last show felt great. Felt like the vibe was back officially, even with the COVID checks and whatnot. But I'm pretty sure things will be a little bit more lax, knock on wood, come the next show here in June. But either way, man, if you can make it out to a Reptile Super Show, I highly suggest it. And that's talking to anybody who normally goes to a bunch of NARBCs. I keep going to NARBC shows because I go to both, but try to go to Reptile Super Show. And then all my Reptile Super Show people, go to NARBC shows because that's where all the fun, I'm telling you, fun on both ends. I don't mean to get so hyped up when I say NARBC, but it's just these are you see a lot of keepers who've been doing it for years. And it's just very exciting to meet the connections, how you can meet at both shows. Either way, I'm also super hyped because Tinley's around the corner. I cannot wait to see all my homies at Tinley. It's going to be a show. It's going to be a good time. Holy shit. Cannot wait. Thank you, Bob Ashley. Thank you, Brian Potter. And yes, fucking Tinley, dude. I cannot wait. It's gonna be sick. I hope you guys are going. Drop a comment. Let me know if you're going. And then, guys, US Arc, please. Phil Goss is the man, literally the man, who is fighting, helping us keep our animal rights. I mean, just because you live in a place where things are super chill, that don't mean it's going to be chill forever. So please do your part, man. Help us fight. Help us. I'm just saying we're all fighting. So by you helping us, it just shows that you support everything that we're all doing as a whole. And it just shows that you're just not as selfish, that if you have animals, you should be supporting US Arc, plain and simple. It's not a gimmick. Everything, the numbers are on the website. If you have any questions, hit us up, man. We'll inform you. I'm happy to inform you anything about US Arc. I mean, I'm not as in-depth, knowledgeable as somebody like Jeremy from Brassman Reptiles, but I can refer you to him and he'll fucking school the shit out of you. But either way, I support US Arc. All my trappers support US Arc. I hope you support US Arc. And if you don't support US Arc, you're a shithead. I had to say it. All right, guys, go give me a follow on Instagram, mjexoticscartal. I am more than a podcaster. I swear to God, I do more than talk. I promise you. I work with some cool ball pythons. They're all right. But I'm also really vested with the super dwarf reticulated pythons. I got some boas that are looking really awesome this year. And then I have some green tree pythons that just are my pets. I'm just kidding. Some of them are breeding, but I don't want to get ahead of myself. So I just call them pets. But they're awesome. And I post everything. I'm very active on my Instagram. So if you ever want to kind of see what I work with, go give me a follow. Go give me a follow on Instagram, mjexoticscartal with an A, not an E. And then I've already sent an email to Instagram to see if I could get my login for Trap Talk with MJ podcast, but it's still up. I'm getting confirmation that the page is still up. So please go give that page a follow, Trap Talk with MJ podcast, because once I get back logged in, I'll start posting all these episodes like I was doing before. So please don't sleep on that Instagram page. Really means a lot. And then shout out to all my Twitch viewers going up by the episode. I appreciate you guys. And then if you guys want to support this channel more than a subscription, more than a like, which I appreciate any kind of support, even a view. But man, throw me a super chat. If you guys have a question for this lovely couple here, if you have a question you want to ask them, throw me a super chat and I'll put it out there. And then I'll also send that super chat over to US Arc. That's just how I do things. So yes. And if you want to send me a donation, some of you send me donations and I appreciate it. So if you're one of those fucking weird people and you want to show me support like that, like I said, I love it. But you guys literally send me donations. I appreciate it. And I also send that to US Arc as well. So, but like I said, if you still want to send me something, send it to Exotics Cartel with an A, not an E. Much love all day, every day. And then shout to my true family, my Patreon family, my fucking damn diehard trappers, dude. We're over 400 Patreon members. Either way, we're still letting Patreon, we're still letting trappers. If you want to join the Patreon family, if you want to be a part of an amazing Discord, if you want to grow with us, I mean, I got big dogs, new dogs, all sorts of dogs a part of the Discord. It's no joke, and it's 24/7 active. I'm telling you right now, come see what it's all about. Go down to the link below, click on the link, join the Patreon family. I fucked with my Patreon family. Y'all, my heart. You guys, you're my drive, man. Honestly, I don't deserve you. But I'm going to keep getting more of you because I just love the trap. The trap community is just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And we are active in this. Appreciate you guys, man. Much love. What's up with the early birds? Early birds jumping or what? I hope Texas is in the building. I'm going to get upset if the first few people aren't Texas. That's just how I roll. Let me see. Florida, what is good? Florida, what is good? I'm just kidding. What's up? 1776 Exotics, my boy Mike. What is good player? Trap Talk family member all day. The homie, dude, you have two different accounts, but I know you're a fucking Patreon fan member. The homie Hillard. I know your last name's Hillard, fool, for sure. Oh, I feel like a dick. But this is my boy right here. He has two different accounts. I think it's Outback or something like that. Post it. Go on your other account. But this is my homie right here. So it's the same to the homie Josh. What up, Josh? Scale Fins and Feathers. Trap Talk family member all day. Deviant Glass. What is good? Homie blows some sick ass glass and is into some ball pythons. Trap Talk fan member. Oh, here's Texas. Oh yes, and this is my Texas trapper right here. This is my girl Hannah Banana, Patreon fan member all day, every day. Thanks for tapping in, homegirl. I appreciate you. Calvin Garcia, what is good player? Thanks for tapping in. Patreon fan member all day, head of security. Nate Dog, what is good? Patreon family member all day, every day. HB Reptiles, what is good? Thanks for tapping in. Patreon family member, by the way. Eric's Morph Factory, what is good? Thanks for tapping in. Lizards Morph, thanks for tapping in. Rainy Day Reptiles, got Canada in the building. I fucks with that. We got Norway in the building. My boy right here, Valhalla Serpents, also runs a sick-ass podcast out in Norway. Thanks for tapping in, doggy. Hope you're doing good. Pacific Northwest hitters in the building, like Chantel from Pacific Rim Serpents, Girl Power. I love seeing the Girl Power in the building. Fours, Pythons, Bateman, the homie Kevin in the building. What is good? Trap Talk family member all day. So is Chantel, by the way. Wise Guys, what is good? Why guys? Thanks for tapping in. Julio, what is good? Julio, thanks for tapping in. Trap Talk family member all day. High as balls, what is good? Ryan, thanks for tapping in. Mason Johnson, thanks for tapping in. The homie Barbara J. Holbrook in the building. Trap Talk family member and a YouTube trapper as well. That is sick. Thanks for the support, dog. I'm definitely gonna get you hella litty next month when I tap in. What is good? The general in the building. I salute you, sir. That's big bro right here in the building. Go give him a follow on Instagram, please. The homie Sean. What is good, Sean? Thanks for tapping in. Oh yes, the lovely newly parents, Danny and Renee Rocha from Portuguese Pythons. I love these two right here. I hope babyhood is doing good. I hope that child is putting you not through too much. I mean, I've heard different stories on raising children. God bless you. I mean, I will someday, you know what I mean? I'm just saying, I hope it's good. I hope it's okay. And by the way, Trap Talk family members all day. Mike, what is good? Thanks for tapping in. Troy Schroeder, best draws. I did not mean to say best draws. I don't even know what you wear draws wise. I'm so sorry. Troy Schroeder, best dress balls with draws. Who knows? That'd be funny. Troy, thank you for tapping in. I appreciate your support. Troy is a real one. He's somebody really experienced in this hobby, well known at the shows, and always pulls up to these new breeder on the block series. I love seeing that. This guy's a good example on being a leader in the industry. That's my boy right there. Gray Rider, Reptiles, what is good? Thanks for tapping in. Trap Talk family member all day. Luke, what is good? Luke, thanks for tapping in. Jacob, right here, Trap Management in the building. Thanks for tapping in, big dog. Creme de la Clutch Exotics, thanks for tapping in. Always want dessert when I say your name. Matthew Summers, cannot tell color like a fucking dog. Like, this guy is just, I don't know, it's my boy. I love him. But I gave him like an exclusive picture of one of my chondros that looks blue as shit. And he goes, wow, so green. Fucking Matthew. Anyways, I'm going to end it with one more. Okay, I'm going to get this show going. Reptilian Exotics, thanks for tapping in. All right, guys, let's get this Monday started. We got my couple tapping in right now from Texas. But I do want to say before I get them into this live, very inspired by what they are already working with. And all I got to say is it's an amazing couple. See him tapped in from Texas. And here they are right now. We have Big Country Constrictors, Jason and Casey. Did I say it? Cassie, I fucking knew it. Listen, you guys.
That's it. I'm done.
Oh, no, Cassie, sit down. How are you? Listen, how are you two doing? Thank you for being here.
Good.
How's everything in Texas?
Warmer finally.
Yeah, the weather's been pretty crazy.
You guys went through crazy weather last year, obviously, but is this all kind of new to you guys, like this kind of crazy weather, we
get ice and snow every year. Last year was the first time it'd been that bad. We got real lucky, didn't lose power or anything through the whole, week or whatever it was. So we've had a little ice here lately, but it hadn't been anything like last year. So.
Right on. So, for anyone who's curious, guys, go ahead and tell us as far as when did this become a brand for you guys? Like, how long have you guys been involved into the whole breeding ball pythons and whatnot?
I got the first ball pythons back in 2010 with my oldest daughter.
Nice.
She was kind of interested in them. I actually worked at a nature center in college, and I'd tell her stories about all the snakes I'd mess with. So we kind of got into it then. Had our first clutch in 2013. And then in the last 4 or 5 years, it's gotten a little more serious for us.
So meaning like you were breeding stuff on the low end, like as far as like 1 or 2 clutches, or like you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It kind of made that transition from a hobby and something fun for them to do to really, in the past few years, really investing in it and making it, turning it into a business as well. So that's where it kind of flipped for us. I've only been in it for 6 years. So when we got together, I kind of jumped in with him.
And where were you at with the reptiles when you met him? Did he kind of inspire the whole reptile thing onto you, or were you kind of already into him prior to meeting him?
I am just an all-around animal lover. So I will collect anything and everything. So I've been following your alpacas. I'm a little jealous. When I saw that, I sent it to him right away. I was like, MJ has alpacas. I need alpacas now.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, they're pretty therapeutic. But they are like they could be a pain in the ass too. But it's the kind of it's a pain in the ass. I think it's cute. My wife doesn't like. She doesn't like being knocked over. She doesn't like being knocked over by them, and then she calls me very upset when I'm not around. So like, it depends how you feel like about it. You know what I mean? I could tell you from experience or just from my research, because me, like, or like us breeders, we're curious. I was thinking about getting another female, maybe adding a male, and just seeing what would happen. And once you get a male, you have to literally get a certain height fence because they jump, like they'll literally clear over fences.
Oh, wow.
They have fighting teeth. They have all these like crazy things. I'm like, all right, fuck that. I am not getting a male. I'm cool with a couple females. But the thing is they have to be in pairs or they die of loneliness or they get really depressed. So you have to be in pairs. But I will say one of the best things other than my pit bulls, I'm like I'm a huge animal lover, but the alpacas, it's just something about them. I love horses too. I'm a big horse guy. Always wanted horses, but horses are expensive, like super expensive. The alpacas aren't.
I have one, so yes, I understand.
Yeah, so I don't know. At some point, I want to have more. Like the farm thing, I want to expand at some point, but I'm day by day, like I want to be able to let the snakes or the podcast or something pay for that. I don't want to just invest in all that shit right now because it could get expensive. Things could go wrong. More animals, just like snakes, more animals you add, something's going to happen. Like something's going to either die or something will go down. These are animals. And it's like, I gotta respect that. You feel me?
So I'm seeing some more business opportunities here, not only are we making connections through ball pythons, we're just gonna, get ready to tackle the whole farm world.
Dude, why not? Hey, listen, that's why. I mean, at the end of the day, I do primarily keep it reptiles, but I've brought a dog breeder on the show before, and I want to bring like almost any kind of. If you're working with almost any animal, I want to bring you on the show. Like I have a bird guy that's going to be coming on the show soon, and I have not unfortunately, she's sick, but like. She's cool, but I have like a tarantula girl coming on the show. I don't know how I'm going to go through that, but I'm just not a spider person whatsoever. But either way, I think it's cool. Animals, it's just interesting, and people have so many different things that float their boat. But everyone, for the most part, love animals. It's like everyone, for the most part, loves music. But have you ever really met somebody who hates music? It's kind of weird, or it's kind of like common to really find someone who doesn't hate. I mean, for somebody who doesn't enjoy music, right? Like, I mean, there's some respect. Some people legit just don't enjoy it, but I just don't see that like being normal.
So you see that as a psychopath tendency?
I mean, no, because I don't know. I mean, like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. I don't want to be mean because some people were brought up differently. I was just brought up with music. Like my whole life was music. I was a DJ for 10 plus years. So music is like, if it's not my coffee getting me going, if it's not my dabs getting me going, it's my whatever song I have getting me going. But it's always the song, you know what I mean? And sometimes I get repetitive, but like, I like what I like to listen. I don't give a shit. You know what I mean? And I don't know, music's just it's like air to me. I mean, I don't want to get too wrapped into things, but let's get back to your guys' up and comings because I want to know exactly 6 years ago, Jason, you met this lovely girl, and are you guys married? Did you guys get married?
Not yet, but
not yet. Okay,
here we are.
Either way, so you got this beautiful girl into the business with you, but what really motivated you to want to put the investment on the heavier side? Like, what were you watching somebody's YouTube? Did you go to shows? Like, what was it that kind of gave you the push?
Yeah, we vended. Of course, we were at Arlington a couple of weeks ago. We vended there a couple of times in the past. Really just, believe it or not, watching YouTube, watching podcasts like this, watching, Canova and RCR and Ozzy and, Mutation Creation and all those guys that are doing it and doing it much, much bigger than we are. There's a lot to learn from them. And so we're trying to, kind of follow in their footsteps a little bit, not nearly to that scale, but that's probably what inspired us to kind of put a little bit more money into it than we had been, for sure.
I mean,
I'm going to add to that and say that he had really, really good ideas. He was just a little nervous to jump in. And I think that's where you kind of find a helpmate, because I shoved him in because his ideas were good and he had done the research and he was prepared to do that.
I mean, to capitalize on that, I mean, I remember when I met my wife, I had just a couple snakes, but I already thought, like, I was just this weird guy with snakes, and I would still have this obsession on looking at snakes on my phone. And she would just wake up and like see me up late at night, like watching snake videos and just looking at snakes. And she's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Dude, I remember one time I was looking at a pied ball python, and this is like 2016. It was like $400, just a regular pied male. And I had at that time I didn't know what a recessive was. I didn't know what a codom was. I knew there was yellow snakes. I knew there was a normal, and I really wanted this pied, So I think my fourth snake was get this pied. I named it MJ. But I bought this, and but what pushed me to get that snake was my girlfriend at the time, Lily, telling me like, why don't you just get it, like, like, meaning like, what's stopping you from getting it? And I was like, well, you don't think it's weird that I'm about to drop $400 on this snake? Like, this doesn't like. She's like, I see how much you like it though. Like, it's seeing you light up. I feel like you're getting ideas, and sure enough, like when she thought it was cool, and I thought this hot chick didn't think I was going to be weird, or like, try telling me otherwise, like, hey, why are you spending your money on this? Because like some guys go through that. Like, you have some guy, like I've had guys bring their girls over having me to explain to them why he's spending money. And I'm like, I love doing that. I close the shit out of women like that all day, every day. So I'm okay with that. But at the end of the day, like what you said, it totally hits home to me. My wife was my push, and like literally open the gate, because my family, like, you gotta understand, when they knew I was getting more reptiles, they thought I was fucking weird. Nobody knew. Nobody. And then even my wife got to a point where she was like, yo, what are you doing at this point? Because I was, you know how it gets. Look behind you, like, you guys get it, so there was a point in time, even though my wife did open the floodgates, she was kind of like there to be like, hey, do you have it under control here? You know what I mean? But the proof was in the pudding. She gave me that 1 year to prove her. Well, my first year, and then she was a believer, dude. Because I fucking.
It is huge, though. It's huge having somebody in your life that supports it and is excited like you are. Just a difference maker,
It's the big difference. It's the deal breaker. Some people respect. There's some people who have wives who are just like, they're not against it, but they're just like not in it. They're just like, do your thing. And that's cool. But then, like, I've unfortunately had people that just stopped doing it because the wife wasn't really into it and didn't think he should be more focused on his 9 to 5 or his kids, which is important too. Like, I've had some people say, I got a kid and I got to sell the collection. But I bring that up to so many other people who have kids, why grow in the collection? And it doesn't stop them. You know what I mean? Right. Like, life is always going to come at you funky. You know what I mean? So it's like, if you really want something, just like a relationship, you know what I mean? Like, not everything's going to be fucking peaches and cream. Like, some shit's going to be like cocaine and waffles. It's not going to taste good. You know what I mean? It's going to be a little weird, but you just got to fight through it. You just got to fight through it. You know what I mean? And, but without the other half that supports, man, I don't see how it's possible. I don't see how it's possible. But so shout out to all these spouses, significant others out there who do support. For the most part, I will say it's not like that. For the most part, it's either especially the new people. The new people get into this and they're like, hey, my chick wants to come over and see her stuff. She's kind of getting interested. Like, they're getting on board with their man or their girl. Like, it's more of a couples thing now. It's not more of a, like, you know what I mean? Like, they want to do it together, that's what it's all about. If you guys are in it together, ideas are better. You know what I mean? Because at some point, like, I would hope I could afford my wife to pull her from her 9 to 5 and have her like work my operations and delegate my receipts. And I'm not good with that stuff. You know what I mean? And she's pro at that stuff, but I can't afford to take her from her job yet. But day by day, like, that's my goal, is to be able to have some sort of, but she's down to do that. The thing is, like, it just got to be right for her. You know what I mean? But we'll see what happens. So that being said, let me ask you, what do you guys do as far as other than snakes? Are you guys fully vested in the snakes, or do you guys have like a 9 to 5? What are you guys doing other than snakes?
We're teachers.
He's actually a principal.
Yeah,
Yes, he's a principal, and I'm a teacher, and I'm finishing up my principals right now. So hopefully I'll be a principal next year.
What was the last time? Well, okay, let me just repeat that. I want to make sure you guys say you support me, right?
Yes.
You want to know the last time I ever felt a principal and teacher supported me? I think it was 6th grade. After that, every one of them fucking, I mean, God bless them. I put them through hell, but I'm just saying, like, this is awesome. I got support from teachers and a principal. Like, dude, you don't even seem like a principal. You seem super down to earth and chill. I don't know, man. When I grew up in elementary, or not elementary, but my up and comings and what in the 90s and 2000s. I mean, I think I had one amazing principal and one amazing teacher my entire career in school. Other than that, I always went head to head with my teachers and principal, dude, all the time. And I'm sure.
Yeah, our school's tiny. I mean, we've got about 150 kids pre-K through 12. So play 6-man football. So we're little, very tiny.
Because what part of Texas are you guys in?
Kind of West Texas, the edge of West Texas, between Abilene and San Angelo.
It's like West Central. We're kind of on that line.
Okay. And born and raised there, or did you guys move there? What's the story about how being in West Texas there?
Pretty much born and raised here.
Both of you.
Mm-hmm.
Where'd you guys
We're
meet?
Texas people through and through.
Yep.
We actually met at school.
There you go. Nice.
He hired me. So
you want to know how I got my wife? She was a personal trainer and I was a sales manager. So I get how that works there, buddy.
Yeah.
You know?
There you go. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That is awesome.
I remember seeing you in one of the first podcasts of yours that he played. And I told him that I would have loved to have you in class because you have so much fun energy. And I'm about the energy in my class. Like I start to get bored when they're doing an assignment. I'm like, can y'all hurry up? I'm getting bored. So then I start jacking with them, get them off task. We just have a good time.
I just never understood how learning could be cool until I wanted to learn about something. And what I mean by that, like, I know there was like there's a couple classes in high school, like biology, that I thought was sick because it was related to animals and shit, but nothing else. Like I cheated my whole way through math from 7th grade. Like literally after elementary school, like that was my hype. Like I was like, don't get me wrong. Like high school was like, I was the shit in high school too, but like I didn't fuck with any of my teachers. And when you don't get along with your teachers and your principal, you just have long days all the time. And I had really long days. Let's just say that until I left the California school system and I fucking moved to Washington. I will say half of my junior year and senior year was pretty awesome because I went from these fucking high strong, like ex wannabe gangbanger teachers to these fucking hippie teachers who all smoked weed in Seattle, and they were all like cool, like they liked me, and like they actually like you felt that like relationship with somebody, and like like I don't know, it was different. So I do commend teachers and principals out there who really like leave a mark in a kid's life, like the one or two that I had, because I'll never forget them. Principal Moeller and Mr. Lorenzo. I'll never forget. It's been years, right? But I'll never forget their names. As long as I live, I'll never forget their names because how much I really like bonded with them. And at a young age, I was 12 years old. You know what I mean? What a trip. But I don't know. At the end of the day, I do appreciate people who teach and do that because there's not enough. And that's not easy, man, to deal with kids. Fuck, dude. Like that is hard. Like, and I know because I was one of the worst. So I'm just like, man. You guys, I mean, let me ask you this. I mean, this is a good question here. Not to toot my own horn, but frustrations, man, because, frustrations happen outside of the snake world and inside of the snake world. Obviously, you guys deal with kids and stuff. So what do you guys do to not really like take frustrations out on each other? Whether if it's like a clutch that didn't work out or if it's not a day that went good at school, how are you guys good at balancing like, all right, like, today was a bad day. How do I deal with it?
Talk a lot, I think, about everything. I'm probably the one that whines about stuff, and she's the one that's listening, So, yeah, talk. That's pretty much what we do all the time. So,
yeah, I learned with him that when he starts talking about these and he's extremely frustrated, he doesn't always need to hear me say anything back. He just needs to have me listen to him and support him so that he can get that out. And for me, I really departmentalize. And I have certain things, like I just love all of my animals. So in spending time with them, that's how I kind of deal with it. Otherwise, I'm an eater. So I like to
There
snack.
there are a lot of other animals besides what's in this room too. Pigs, chickens, turkeys, horse, dogs, pigeons, cat.
So
Yeah.
you guys are running it. You guys are running it right now.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any kids?
No.
Not
So just-
together. He has 2 girls.
Okay, and then how old are your girls, Jason?
One is 20 and one is fixing to be, well, one's fixing to be 21, one's about to be 18. So
Say that again. 21 and what?
18.
I keeps breaking up. You said 18, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Sorry, there's a little bit of delay. You okay?
Oh yeah, we're lagging a little. I'm gonna take phone off like that.
Can you guys hear me okay?
I can hear you. Can you hear us?
Yeah,
Yes.
there's a big lag. Hey, do me a favor. There's a big lag. Exit and come right back in. So leave here and go right to the email, and it'll reset everything.
Okay.
It'll take care of it. It'll take care of this lag right now. Lags happen. Thank you for the super chat, my boy Angel Reptile Club 310 in the building. LA's finest. This fool's a real gangster. He's a real vato. He still smokes cigarettes, which I don't get. Which we're gonna talk about that. I'm just kidding. All right, they're back. Hey guys, can you hear me now?
Better?
Yes.
Yep.
Cool. That might happen again. If it does, if it's a delay, just don't hesitate to leave and come right back in. It happens.
Okay.
So what were we talking about? I forgot.
All the different animals that we have.
Oh,
He
yes, the different
actually
animals.
he started in on tracking dogs. We like to hunt. So, sometimes in the brush you can lose your animals. So he has 2 tracking dogs right now to find our animals. I think last year.
Like German pointers, or what kind of tracking dogs?
They're blue lacies.
Blue lacy.
The Texas State dog.
Texas State. Oh, I didn't know that. That's what the Texas State dog is, the blue lacy.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That's awesome. So how much experience do you guys have hunting? I mean, you kind of grew up hunting, Jason, I'm assuming, or
yeah. Family ranches and whatnot. So yeah.
So you're telling me that we could possibly go hunting one day?
It's possible, sure.
This is something we could work out.
Dude, I've been wanting to go hunting for so long. You have no idea. This would be huge.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little nervous with you and a gun.
Nah, come back to Texas. It'll be good.
Good. No, listen. I don't want to say I'm scared of guns, but I do. Okay, you know what? She's right. I'm not gonna lie. I am kind of like, I respect the shit out of guns. I am kind of like, a noob with guns, meaning I haven't shot a tons of them. Just recently I went shooting with my boy Dennis Smith, and he put a Smith & Wesson 500 in my hand. And luckily he just put 1 bullet in it. Like, he's like, I'm just going to put 1 bullet in it. Right. And so like he shot it. Right. And I mean, I shot it and I was like, so like blown away. I brought it down and then like went like this. And he's like, dude, don't because we're in the shooting range, it's like a big no-no. Yeah. But I just like, what if, so yeah, you're right. I probably wouldn't smoke that day. I'd probably just be really just like.
No, I think you need to do a little bit, just enough to knock down the nerves.
I agree. I mean, I got to be at least a little high. All right. So getting back into the business here. So what were some of the big important investments you made 5 years ago that you felt really helped you elevate the to where you're at? Because I mean, you have chocolate combo stuff with the clowns and amazing DG with chocolate clown stuff. We're going to get into all that, but like, I'm just curious, what were the pinnacle genes for you back 5 years ago that you invested in to help you get where you were?
Yeah, my big one was Desert Ghost. I bought a Desert Ghost, 66% het clown girl. She ended up started all my DG clown stuff, but we've been big into clown. I've hoarded every female clown I've ever made. Wow. You listen to some of the podcasts and the guys that are doing it big tell you those visual girls are worth their weight in gold. So I took that to heart pretty much and just collected clown females and I'm pretty limited on space here. So, I've kind of got to be pick and choose what I do, but yeah, that's kind of clown and DG were big.
So you're limited on space, but you have a farm. So you're telling me you can't create a little bit more space if you really want. If you really needed to, I mean, could you create more space if it came down to it? Or are you really like limited?
Probably create a little more space, but I don't own this house, so I'm not gonna, I can't do a whole lot to it. But
I'm in the same situation as you, like literally in the same exact situation. Just because how hard it is right now to buy a house where I'm at, I mean, or anywhere in this point. I'm like literally like me and my wife are fine renting where we're at because my snakes have been breeding here for going on 5 years. They're so seasoned, and I'm so scared and terrified to remove them from what is working. You know what I mean? So I know that day's gonna come, and which it's like good and bad, right? Because it's good because now I can expand. Now I can get my emus. Now I can get fucking everything I want, right? But now I'm like, man, I might sacrifice a whole breeding season. Some girls might not go, which it is what it is. I don't have to cross that bridge yet. I'm coming close, but I feel you on renting, bro. I mean, and honestly, like I said, at this point, I don't give two shits about owning. I got a place for my animals. That's all I care about,
Yeah.
I know what you mean, man. So, okay, that being said, clutches 2021. How many clutches did you produce last year?
Not many, 12 maybe, something like that.
Okay.
Not a lot. And being limited in space, it can be frustrating, of course, but it's not that bad because it kind of keeps things under control. I've got to plan a little more than I otherwise would, and just focus on key projects that we're wanting to advance. So, I mean,
Will Murrow said this pretty awesomely one time in the podcast that like you don't need a lot. Like you could keep things well under your means and still make a good chunk of money fucking working with ball pythons. The thing is, right? It's like what you said. When you're working with amazing shit, you're going to be hoarding amazing shit. And it's hard to let go of something you should be keeping. You know what I mean? But, also Justin Kabelka has that mindset where if you really want that certain snake, sell those snakes to get that certain snake. But that's difficult too, because I'm like you guys, like I need more females, right? So for me to sell 5 of these females or 4 of these females to get that price of that one powerful male that I really need, it really sets me back on my possibilities on all those other females that could have gone for me. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then those girls could have been laying something with a higher quality. Like you just don't really know. Like it's just like, and it's a gamble, like it is what it is. You just, you gotta, this is why this becomes strategic. You know what I mean? So, right. But what I'm saying is 12 clutches for what you're producing. I mean, I feel like you're like a boutique breeder. Like you are guys are only you guys are working with like only the best quality stuff out there for what you're working with. So so the chocolate gene, I'm a huge chocolate guy. And unfortunately I have 0 chocolate stuff in my collection. I'm really sad to say, yeah, we might need to talk because this is ridiculous. I'm over it. Please. So anyways, I have no chocolate stuff. I'm real curious. When did you get into the chocolate project? What influenced you to get into the chocolate project?
I actually, in 2018, I did my first double het clutch. I had a lesser clown and a leopard clown and bred it to my DG Posset clown girl, and she proved out the first clutch. Right. The lesser clown got the job done. And so I had a bunch of double het females I was raising up, and it came time to start thinking about what I was going to put them to. And I thought about one of Billy Rowe's videos that he made up at Mutation Creation Canada. When you're buying a male, make sure you've got plenty of females to go with him. And so I got to looking around, and I found a chocolate spot nose double het male that Canova was letting go. Picked him up and bred him to 3. Actually a lesser DG het clown girl and 2 double het girls, and
chocolate spot nose double het DG clown, you said, right?
Correct.
And it was a male you got? That was a male you bought?
And the thought behind it was last year I had in 2020 I had made I made 3 desert ghost clowns and a lesser desert ghost clown. And so I wanted something a little different. And the thought process was I'll breed some double het girls to this lesser, to the chocolate spot nose male. Everything will either be chocolate or spot nose. There won't be any guessing. Theoretically won't be any guessing as to what's going on. And I'll have a chance to, if I hit DG clowns, it's going to be either chocolate or spot nose. So that was kind of the thought behind it. And got very, very lucky.
Damn. I mean, I don't know about luck. It is what it is. Things land in your lap if you're meant to be in this game. That's all I gotta say. Okay. I mean, based off just that, you're still heating. You're still. I mean, let's talk about more luck that you've had. You know what I mean? Like you guys are producing amazing heat. But what I want to say is back to that topic of you getting that powerhouse male from Canova. What year was that again?
20. What is it? 22 now? 21, I guess. I think I bought it last February. Maybe it's been about a year.
Okay, so it's been about a year. Based off how you want things to go, when would you like feel like that male is like gonna no longer be needed in your collection? I'm not trying to buy them off you or anything. I'm just saying,
like I got lucky and hit a chocolate DG clown male, so you know that's kind of a game changer there. I really want a spot nose DG clown also, and I've got several other double het females that are going to be ready to go. So. A lot of it will depend on how these young guys that I've got coming up start taking over the project, you know. So he's reliable. He's a great breeder for sure.
Because I'm curious, the biggest question, biggest reason behind that question was because, you know, with somebody like myself who's dealing with, you know, limited space, I'm just curious on how many backup males you plan on having. Like, what's your goal with backup males? But I guess, you know, I'm literally in the same boat as you because I have these males that I'm now ready to sell because the ones I've been raising are locking like fucking monsters. But then I'm like, what if they stop locking? Like, well, what if like something happens and then I already sold those males? So I'm just curious. So where do you guys stand with that, or what's your guys' game plan with that?
For that project, we've got our chocolate spot nose double het. I've got a DG clown male. And I've got a Desert Ghost het clown male that I raised, and so those are pretty much the three that are there for that project right now. Right. Of course, I'm always on the lookout to add other genes to it, you know. So I'm like everybody else, and wake up in the morning, look at Morph Market, and look at Morph Market at lunch, and you know how it is. You're always looking to see, you know, what there is out there. You don't want to miss something, so you know we're always on the lookout for something else. So
I'm probably going to shoot myself in the foot because I do have respect to all my Morph Market customers. I love you guys. And I've sold quite a bit of snakes off Morph Market, but me personally, I don't have a Morph Market looking addiction. I just, you know why? Because I'm just, I already know I'm going to get overwhelmed. Okay. It's like going to a show. You can't buy the whole fucking booth. You know what I mean? Even though you want to, right? So there's nothing you can really do. I'm not a window shopper. Like I hate window shopping, and it's killing me to see your guys' snake, and I window shopped your snake, even though it wasn't for sale. I even called Miguel, and you know I had something. I was trying to work something out, but anyways, I just don't like to get myself excited, even mentally, for something that's not going to happen. So I don't even look at Morph Market because I'm really good where I'm at. You know, like of course I can add something, but I want to add something on a personal level. Like I would buy something after meeting you guys in person, or Miguel, or like that's. You know, like I try to invest my money to people who I have a personal relationship with because I mean, a lot of stuff, that's just how I've been building my stuff. But like I said, I have buying stuff on Morph Market. Don't get me wrong. I've been referred to Morph Market. Here's a link. And I love Morph Market. Just, you know, this fucking hobby would not be what it is without Morph Market. But me personally, I do not have a Morph Market addiction. I mean, I do and I don't. You know what I mean? I just don't go down that rabbit hole. And I try to just post stuff on my inventory and I dip out and I'm gone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that being said, hold on. I take that back. I totally take that back. You want to know when I do have an addiction on Morph Market? When I'm price matching shit.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's a good one.
So curious how people, because I mean, I have so many different like het combos and het combos that I'm just breeding for the first time this year, and I don't know what to price them at. So a lot of times I really do go heavy on digging through Morph Market and seeing what people are pricing stuff at, look at the quality and whatnot. And so I'm saying, shout to Morph Market, shout out to the homie John. Morph Market's what we need. Is that where you guys sell most of your snakes?
Yeah, Instagram, you know, have people hit us up on Instagram and things like that.
I think it kind of goes back and forth. Like, you know, everything goes in waves. So we'll have like a wave of Morph Market and then a wave of Instagram.
Yeah, I mean, my hugest wave in the first 2 years was all Instagram. Like, you know, I didn't have a lot of clutches, and that's probably why. Like, my first year was, I had my very first year ever breeding was one clutch, and I held that whole clutch back. And then the next year, was 8 clutches, or 7. And that was the year I sold everything on Instagram. Like whatever I posted, it was gone. And I was like, oh, this is going to be sick. But it was also during fucking stimulus season.
Yeah.
Yes. Motherfuckers had stupid money to spend. And I was like, oh, this is going to be great. And this year was hot, but I was like, damn, I have a lot of, like, you know, I had 16 clutches this year. So I was like sitting on, and everything came at once. Like, instead of getting stuff in like May and stuff, everything started to come in like late July all the way through October, and all the way through December. Actually, my last clutch technically laid in January. My bad. My last clutch hatched in January, but it laid in like December or something like that, or some shit, or no, November or something. But anyways, everything came super late, so I sat on a bunch of stuff. And if it wasn't for Morph Market, I would definitely still be sitting a lot more than I'm sitting right now. So, that's why I was curious as far as like, you know, as far as how much you guys utilize Morph Market. But Instagram, I could tell you right now, like that was my huge boost in the beginning. And that's why I was so like, you know, and to this day, I'm so passionate about building an organic following, because I feel like, based off my experience of seeing how people would jump on your animal cells off your story, like those are people who've been legitimately following your work and they really fuck with your stuff, versus people who are like getting sticker swap followers and like, you know, oh, I sent you a t-shirt, can you follow me back? Or like, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, no offense, but I'm trying to reach I'm trying to create my own market, you know what I mean? And I'm trying to fuck with people who are really in this, not trying to, and it's sad to say I am trying to make friends, but I'm not trying to make friends. This is a fucking business. You know what I mean? Like, how can I help you? Like, let's help each other, you know, like type of thing, you know? And I take that back. You know, I'm trying to make friends. You guys are my new friends. You know what I mean by that. But, actually, no, I'm not trying to make friends. Just kidding. So, okay, let me ask you guys this. 2022, you know, we trying to keep it at 12 clutches. What's the game plan as far as the amount of clutches you're looking to do this year?
Ours, our season's been spread out the last several years. So we'll have 2 or 3 right now. We've got 3 clutches in the incubator. We hatched a bunch out late in the fall. And so those girls that laid eggs in the fall will be ready to start cycling through again in the summer. So, and then we've got our up and comers. So, you know, we can do, I probably, given the space I have, I probably wouldn't want to go much over 20. Because I mean, you go from 6 clutches to 12 clutches, and you know, we've probably averaged 10 eggs a clutch this year. So you get babies in a hurry. You know, that starts adding up as far as mouths to feed and space and all that. I've picked up 5 sea serpents baby racks in the last several months, just getting ready for the wave that's coming. So. Yeah, we're going to stay small for right now, and probably less than 20 clutches. So
10 eggs on an average clutch is what you're saying.
It's been huge this year. So
and these are a lot of these are. Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but a lot of these are repeat females, or these first time females.
A little bit of both. Like our 3 clutches that had the potential to produce visual DG clowns, there was 31 eggs, maybe 20, 29, 30, 31 eggs, something like that between the 3 clutches. So, and that's what we like. You know, we're messing with those double visuals. We need those numbers. So,
no, for sure. I would love big clutches like that. I mean, it's not, I get 10 eggs. This is not common. My average, but then again, I have a lot of first time females, but so do you. Right. So, I mean, either way, I mean, I average like 7, 8. I did have 8. I had 112. But like, how big are your females? I'm just curious. Like, how big are your? When do you typically pair a female in your collection? How does that work for you?
I just kind of go by sight. I don't have an ultrasound or anything like that. So, you know, when they're getting size on them and they're eating good and they're showing the signs, I'll throw a male in there with them.
So you don't weigh them?
Rarely. I've weighed, my big desert ghost girl was probably, I don't know, 3,500 grams. She gave me 13 eggs this year.
Oh yeah, you got big girls. You got some.
Yeah. If anybody was at the show, met us at the show, they probably heard me whining about that clutch. It was the double het chocolate spot nose male to the desert ghost het clown girl. 13 eggs, 0 clowns in the whole clutch.
So, okay, wait.
Hang on, we're gonna dip out here.
Uh-oh. What did he say? 13 eggs and what? I didn't hear that. 13 eggs and 0 DGs. All right, one more time.
You there?
Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Is it,
Can you hear us?
is it my internet? I hope it's not my internet. You guys is, let me see. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
All right, cool. What 0 what? I didn't hear that part. 0 what? You
It
guys
was, yeah, it was a double het chocolate spot nose double het male to a desert ghost het clown female. Both parents had produced DG clowns in the past. I had 13 eggs and 0 visual clowns.
Oh shit. Did anything DG come out?
Several D. Well, we got some nice DG stuff. Just, you know, that's why you got to have the numbers because, you know, and that's why you have the number of clutches to that guy. And that's why you're hoping for big clutches so you can, you know, overcome the brutal odds sometimes.
And just to confirm, it was a head-to-head, correct? Or no?
It was a double het male, the chocolate spot nose double het male to a desert ghost het clown female.
Wow. Okay. And that female, has she proven out clown for you already?
She produced 4 DG clowns last year. So, yeah.
And the male's already proven out for you, obviously. So it's just the shit luck, unfortunately.
Yeah, that was the second DG clown clutch of the year. The first one, he had produced the chocolate DG clown in the first clutch. So we knew that the parents were there. They were proven. It just, you know, one of those things.
So
what are you going to do?
So most of those hatchings are going to be pos het clown then, I'm assuming?
Right. They'll be het desert ghost, pos het clown.
Damn, that's still a gamble. I guarantee probably one of those things are still packing it. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
It's in there. It was just the numbers that just didn't hit for you, you know?
Yep.
So let me ask you this. Are you gonna roll the dice with the same pairing next year, or are you gonna try a different male? What's your plan?
I don't know. We'll see what comes up, what becomes available between now and time to pair her again.
Right.
We'll start pairing that girl up in probably June or so, July. She's on her 7-month cycle. So we'll see what comes up. I'd really like to pair it to it again. I wouldn't have a problem with that at all because those chocolate DG clowns are smoking hot, and so are spot nose DG clowns. So you can't go wrong with either one of those for sure.
Oh my God, you're not kidding. Hey guys, we're about an hour into this. The likes kind of semi-respectable. These two definitely deserve more likes. So if you're just tapping in and you forgot to hit the like button, no big deal. Hit the like button right now. Let's get the likes up big time. Flex in Texas all day, every day. Don't play with my top. All right. Real quick, I want to shout this out to my homie Silver Cash 86. He has a question. First off, let me ask you, what's the biggest clutch you've ever laid? How many eggs have you ever laid? What's the biggest on record for you guys?
That 13 was I think was the top one. Yeah.
Big. And then following with, how do you know it's time to go from hobby to business when breeding a ball python?
Yeah, go ahead.
I knew for him was when he was putting in so much time to learn about the business aspect of it, that it was time to transition over there. And I think it's kind of like a hobby business because you enjoy it. And especially for him, I know that he really loves it and puts that time into it. And we were in the position financially to do that as well. So I think that's where it kind of made that push over for us, the right time, financially stable, and you've put in the work to be able to take that step.
100%. And that's actually a good point. Just because I feel like some people, I feel like I don't want to say it's better to wait longer than to wait too soon. Because I mean, I feel like if you do jump into something too soon, it could scare you the fuck out, or you could just really have too high expectations. And I don't know. I feel like when you go into something like this with low expectations and you just try to have fun, like you just kind of build your own, like, you know, things that land in your lap. Like you let your own luck kind of come to you. You know what I mean? And you just kind of, you know, you find out if it works for you, you find out if you don't. Like you just gotta know if you feel good about it or not. You know, if you're happy doing what you're doing, then keep doing it. And you know, I think that's what it comes down to. So shout out to the super chat question. And this is inappropriate, Lavera. Sorry about my friend here. He's weird. He's in Colorado in a very remote area, and he doesn't get a lot of interaction with people. So thank you, sir. I appreciate your awkward super chat. Shout out to my boy Sean Sound Serpents. Go support the Trap Fam. I appreciate you guys. So, okay, let me ask you guys this. The show that Arlington, was that your guys' first show? It was, right? Or no?
No, we'd vended there a couple of times previously. It's been a few years. My girls were in high school athletics and doing all their extracurriculars, so it didn't leave us a lot of time to vend. So that, I think that was the third time we'd vended Arlington, I believe, but it was kind of sporadic. So,
right. And then, have you had, like, for the most part, like, any kind of big sellouts? Like, I mean, was there any certain Arlingtons where like everything was sold out, or do you feel like Arlington shows aren't kind of there yet as far as how they used to be because of COVID and whatnot?
No, I really liked the show this time. We'd
time.
come up and look around. This was the first time we'd had anything like we did on our table, obviously. It was just a little different show for us as opposed to having, that's the first time we'd had DG Clown stuff and things like that to show off. So it was a fun show for sure.
I think it was different for us this time because it wasn't so much about selling the snakes as it was very enjoyable because we got to meet a lot of different people. And, it's really fun to talk to people when you're like-minded and you have similar goals and interests and things like that. So it just makes it a lot more fun and a lot more entertaining. So that was a really good time, like meeting you, and we got to meet a ton of other people. So I think we both enjoyed that aspect.
I could tell you right now, like, lately the way I've been doing shows is, because I fly in typically earlier and I do a podcast remotely. And then from there, I go to the show, party Friday, Saturday, hang out with everyone. And then I dip out Sunday. But I have so much fun Friday, Saturday that it goes by that, like, I think it's depressing that I don't hang out Sundays and say bye to people. Like, I kind of want to start hanging out Sundays because even though it's not like the bar scene and like US Arc, it's still like the good, like, it's still like that good. Just like, I don't know. I feel like I miss a show every time I leave it. Like, even though there's another show going to come, but it goes by so quick because of the conversations that you relate with people. I mean, it's just a good time. Like, I can't think of anything else like that. I've had this much fun where I'm not getting into any trouble. You know what I mean? Like, it's awesome. But that being said, what's your guys' goals for any other shows other than Arlington shows? I mean, first off, hold on. Do you guys do any shows in Texas? Like, do you do the Herp show or anything like that, or any other the Show Me Snake shows?
We've done Reptile a time or two up in Dallas, I believe, and we never have vended. I don't know if you're familiar with what was the show called?
I thought it was the
Texas Reptile Expo or something like that. We used to go to that one a long time ago and never have vended it, but we're planning on vending Arlington regularly now. And we had talked about maybe going to, they're expanding the NRABC to different cities. And I think it's in St. Louis and a couple other places. So we talked about going and vending a couple of those. So a lot of it's going to depend on what we've got, like I said, we don't produce a whole lot of clutches, so it's just going to depend on timing more than anything, I would think, as far as whether or not we vend.
So let me ask you guys.
We've kind of thrown around the idea if it's the right time, vending at Tinley, but it may be a little tough to get in there.
You would sell the fuck out at Tinley. I 110%. It's primarily ball pythons at Tinley. And all that chocolate DG shit, all that stuff you guys have, all that NFS stuff, bullshit, it's gone. I can tell you that. People got big money. People go over there with stacks. I'm not joking. And when you see these stacks in these fanny packs, sometimes it's like, whoa, bro. Like,
I'm telling you, though, I walked away from the table a couple times at Arlington, and she's wheeling and dealing. I almost had some of my NFS gone. She was ready. Yeah, she'll put a price on them. That's not a problem.
You know why? Because she's confident that you guys can make more. You know what I mean? And if anything, you'll probably make a better version of what it is. I mean, there are the certain don'ts. You know what I mean? Unless it's like a game, unless there's a game-changing figure. You know what I mean? Like that's why like people like, you ever hear somebody, and I'm sure this has happened to you guys. I know it's happened to me, but someone says, "Oh, name your price," and then you name the price, and then they pay it. You should have went higher. You know what I mean? Like if you really want to scare somebody, scare the shit out of somebody. And I tried doing that one time, dude. I'm shit you not. Sorry. You know that snake that went. I don't know if you know this, but I posted this snake that was like really blue on my Instagram. It was a super GHI leopard Mojave hypo, and it kind of went viral, like a little mini viral thing. People like thought it was fake and all sorts of shit. But I was getting random people asking me how much for the snake, and I would just fucking just shoot them with stupid numbers, and they were just like, boom, boom, like go away, right? And then this one guy, this fucking Bitcoin baller ass motherfucker comes and tells me name your price, and I tell him 10K. He goes away, comes back, and then by that time I finds out it's not a female, it's a male. My boy came and sexed it, and because I don't know why I didn't re-sex it, but anyways, they went off food, and I found out it wasn't a female, it was a male. So he's already plugging up to other females. He came back, he's like, I have your 10K, I want to give you the 10K. I was like, you're tripping. I was like, this, first off, it's not a female, it's a male, and he's already breeding. If you want this snake, it's going to cost more. He's like, name your price. I'm like, God damn it. And I'm like sitting there staring, like, what am I going to tell this guy? Because in my head, I'm worried. I'm like, this guy, what if this guy, like, because he's been talking about, like, do you prefer wiring? Like, we've been talking about all this stuff. And I'm like, dude, this fool's really serious. Like, I cannot believe it. So I told him 15K. I was like, 15K, and I'm not going to give him to you until after I'm done breeding him. He's like, sold. He's like, I'll wire you 7K right now. I'm like, oh my God, you got to be shitting me. So I was like, all right, let's do it. And he fucking wired me 7K. And I told him, I was like, give me the rest when I ship them. Let's hold on to it. And then sure enough, you know what I mean? And I didn't touch not one penny out of that 7K. I just left it alone just because I was like, just in case this guy does anything weird, right? You know? And then sure enough, a week or two goes by, and he's like, hey, you never told me this thing was in shed. And I was like, what? I was like, bro, I fucking, and I scrolled up to snapshots, and I told him, I was like, listen, this snake is only like this, like every so often, like every other month. I told him this is a shed cycle. This snake's in blue. And you said okay to all that. And so anyways, this guy came at me super spazzy. He called me fraudulent, and I immediately fucking gave him that money back. I was like, don't ever waste my time like this again, you fucking piece of shit. And I fucking blocked him, and shame on me. I should have learned better. That's I should have went higher. Yep. You know what I mean? You said 30K. You know what I mean? I didn't think, and honestly, but I had that mentality. I had already produced that same snake, but a female virgin. So I was like, I already have a better version of this. So I could do a lot with 15K. Are you kidding me? Like, here, take this fucking Kodam. Here, you want it? I don't care. Like, I mean, I did care. Obviously, I didn't want to get rid of that snake. But anyways, yeah, dude, I really feel like if it's really a snake that means that much to you, and you know it's important, shoot for the fucking moon on that price. Who cares? Yeah. Scare them away. Let's do it. Yeah. Just be careful who you're dealing with. Miguel's a hard person to scare away. I'll tell you that. I'll tell you that right now. But let me ask you this. With everything going into the 2022 season, how are you guys going to really game plan holdbacks? And who really has the final say on what stays and what goes, respectively, like on a brand new clutch? Like, who's the one saying, all right, we have to keep that one? Or, you know, like, or, you know what I mean? Who's the one with the first eye, I guess I could say, when it comes to pulling out holdbacks?
I'm going to say I have the first eye. I'm pretty quick to call him. And he's like, I don't know. I'm like, just wait, you'll see. So I think I have a pretty good eye, and I'll go ahead and err on the side of being hopeful that it is something, whereas he won't. Because why not be hopeful? It's exciting. And when it comes to things, I'm more so let it go, and he's more so hold on to things. So it's good that we kind of balance each other out.
Right.
Yeah, I've held on to a lot of stuff. Like I said, I haven't sold any clown females ever. But I go back to some of these podcasts, and I know I heard, I think it was Justin at Canova say, you know, he's got his, I'm not sure what he calls the video series, but his advice to building businesses, the JKRU or whatever. And he said on there that if you can buy it anywhere else, sell it. If you can't buy it, keep it. So I kind of subscribe to that philosophy a little more now. And plus, you know, I don't have a whole lot of room, so I've got to be careful and be a lot more strategic as far as what I hold back. So, like anybody else, we're our best customer. So try to be anyways.
I guess I would describe myself. I am either the little angel on his shoulder or the little devil on his shoulder when he's making decisions.
She almost sold my DG clown female that was on the table in Arlington. So yeah, she's not afraid to make a deal.
100%.
That's the devil side then. The fact that she'll sell your shit.
I would have. If the price would have been right, it would have been gone.
I came back not a moment too soon into the table. I'm telling you, scary.
All right. Well, listen, I want to go through your guys' Instagram because you know, throughout this whole podcast, I want to just show these people what kind of heat you're working with because I'm a fan. So let's scroll down here just a little bit. Don't get excited, guys. Calm down, viewers. But I want to say, like, look at this shit right here. This is goddamn black pastel. You know, I will say, like, you know, I had a long conversation with Justin because I was sending him some pics of some stuff that I made, and he's like, "Yeah, try to stay away from pastel cinnamon, right? But black pastel is different. I feel like when adding it to anything, especially in a clown. But you have black pastel going into pastel. Is that correct?
This is actually a blackhead clown.
Or black? My bad. Pastel. My bad.
Yeah.
Oh, I read that. My bad.
No, it's a pastel blackhead clown, right?
But that's the blackhead doing that,
right?
Because that, I mean, okay, so blackhead is making pastel relevant in this right here, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Because this is sick as fuck.
Yeah.
If you could make a pastel gene dark, that you're doing something right, I feel like.
Yeah, those blackhead clowns are cool.
Because that should only get darker with time, I would feel like. I mean, because right now that snake's, let's see, is this a female? What was this? A male? What was this right here?
Female, yes.
And she's raising up good?
Oh, yeah.
Nice. God, she's so fire, bro. And then, you know, if we scroll up a little bit, now these are a lot of your females that went for you, right? Like this is the DG you're talking about, the one that gave you 13 eggs. No visual clown, unfortunately, but you got the DGs.
Yeah, there she is. She's huge, but you know, she gave me 4 DG clowns the year before, so you can't complain.
No, you gotta take it how it comes, man.
Yeah,
I mean, you really do.
Have a funny story about her. When we were looking at his snakes, we were looking through all of them. And as soon as he showed me that one, I told him that one was my favorite. So I think at that point, he really realized that I was quality. And I think shortly after that, he probably told me he loved me. He realized right then.
Now this beauty right here, I'm a huge fan of Cypress, but this was somebody, who did you pick this up from, or did you produce this?
Chandler Hatfield produced that, and if you haven't checked out his Cypress clown stuff, he's got it going on. So that's a Cypress yellow belly clown.
I don't know who Chandler Hatfield is. I need to check that guy out, to be honest.
CTH Reptiles.
Yeah, I see him right here. I'll keep him out. That's sick.
He's in the chat here. Yeah, that's him.
Tight.
So yeah, he produced that, and we've got some DG plans for that boy. So
that guy's fire. So let me ask you this: how are you guys? Oh my God, this is stupid. How are you guys delegating? You know, your guys's pickups. Like when it comes to you wanting to purchase a snake, how do you guys do your shopping? Like you know, what's the game plan when it comes to that for you guys?
We've kind of got a short list of things we're looking for. And like I said, we're both keeping our eyes peeled, and when whenever the right snake comes along, you got to be ready to pick it up. So we communicate a lot about that as far as what we're looking for and opinions of what stuff would look like. And of course, most of our plans are gearing towards DG clown stuff. So, that's kind of getting more genes into that.
I have 2 genes that I'm looking at really heavy right now.
Right.
So they're kind of hard to find to get everything in that I want or things out that I don't want. So just navigating that and sending the right ones, it's kind of been hard to find.
My heart is just feeling differently right now with this. So just to clarify, the top one is chocolate clown. The bottom one's chocolate DG clown, right?
Correct.
And this is male, female, or what's the
the chocolate clown's a girl and the DG clown's a male.
And as far as like, let's just say, in a year from now, like let's just say 2022 is a good year where you do have some availability, like you actually do have stuff to sell. Like, how are you guys going to determine a price difference from, like, let's just say these were two males, right?
Yeah.
In a year from now, how are you guys gonna like really stay on top of or what's your guys' game plan to as far as the pricing things, how you guys feel like you should price them when it comes to like a morph or two different, difference in a snake?
Probably talking to people and seeking advice from people who have been there and done that, as far as as pricing, because there's guys that are doing DG clown stuff. I certainly don't want to undercut or overcut or anything like that. I want to keep the market strong for them. So, just communicate with people and get advice from people who are also in the project.
And he does a really good job of, we're not going to put anything up that isn't eating well. So if you notice something kind of come down, that's because things have changed for it, because we want to keep a good reputation and make sure that everyone's taken care of.
Speaking of that, so what are you guys doing? Like, what's a rule of thumb? Like, if you have a hatchling that comes out the egg and you're like, for sure, we're going to sell that one, how soon until it's ready to go, in your guys' opinion?
Give it, 4 or 5 meals, let it shed once and make sure it's good to go. I don't worry about it too much, especially if you're selling to people who are experienced. And then if you got people that are not experienced, just give them all the information they need so they can go into it with eyes wide open,
So with that being said, Jason, if I were to come to you with no experience, wanting to keep a snake or get a snake from you, what is it that you're doing to kind of like set them up for success? Like, do you kind of recommend them what they should put it on? Like, do you ever have that situation where this person's like, yo, what do I do with this thing after they buy it? Or what do you usually do?
Yeah. And it's just communication again, and go into as much detail as possible, because, if they're new, if it's their first snake, you can talk to them all you want to, and it's still going to be a new experience for them, so. Right. And also being open, give them your phone number, give them your email address, Instagram, whatever. And if you have any problems, you need to let me know. I've got my email's on my phone, Instagram, everything. So I can, if people reach out, we're going to answer them. So.
Yeah.
And then, you go ahead.
Everybody kind of has their own tips and tricks and what works for them. And I know in our area, we have a few tips and tricks that work best for us. So definitely sharing those in case anybody else wants to work with that as well. I think that's what's nice about this community, is people are always sharing different things and what works for them. And that helps us all learn and grow.
So what's the biggest thing with your guys' rodent game? Do you guys produce your own rodents, or do you guys get live rodents dropped? Like, how are you guys doing your rodents?
We produce rodents, unfortunately.
Respect.
Jeez, I'm telling you.
Oh my God.
That probably sends me into fits of rage faster than anything. And you can ask her. Oh my goodness.
These fucking things, man. I swear to God, they're so smart, and then they could just be so fucked up at the same time. They're just brutal, dude. These rats. Oh my God.
Yeah, our problem is we're kind of rural out here, way out in the middle of nowhere, and you just can't go to a pet shop and buy a rat for $6 whenever you got to have 200 of them. It's just not feasible.
You don't have a choice. It's not. That's why. I mean, I'm so thankful. Fucking like I cherish my sponsors, Cold Blooded Cafe, and I actually have a local sponsor here that drops off for like going on 5 years now. It drops off live feeders at my doorstep like it's goddamn feeders. Yeah, I'm blessed. But for the first, I put in my licks though, bro. The first 2.5 years before I could even get that, I bred my own rats and did it. I had rat chores every fucking Sunday, but there was always something going down every day of the week with these rats. It was just nonstop. You want to talk about me being in bad moods? Always because of the rats. It was it. It wasn't fake. It was always because of the rats, dude. My wife, I would have times I'm like, don't come near me. I would have to tell her, don't come near me right now. Like, and it sucks, because she wants to spend time with me. Back then, I was a fucking basket case, like trying to juggle everything and like You know what I mean? Like I'm telling you, all my
Yeah.
stress came from the rats, man. And as soon as that load went out the door, oh man, I was like, I told her everything's gonna get better. She's like, "Are you sure?" I'm like, "I swear, everything's gonna get better." Like I already feel better. Like I was like waking up, just like fucking, just like, you know what I mean, just like skipping through the fucking living room. Like yes, like no rat chores. Like they're gone. Like they're. But also keep in mind, like the accent, like. I had rats on deck. Like if I had something that wasn't eating and then all of a sudden acted like it wanted to eat, okay, no problem. Here you go. You know what I mean? Or if I had to give a girl an extra meal, because whatever the case, like it was a necessity, or was it? It was awesome to have rats on deck, but it just came with the price. It was just, due respect to anyone out there doing it both. I mean, I already know my day's gonna come, bro, where I plan on living somewhere pretty remotely someday. Like I plan on living in the sticks and just doing my own fucking thing and not be around anybody. And I'm probably more likely I'm not going to have this live rodent guy no more. You know what I mean? I already know that he's a dream that's going to go away at some point because what my goals are, and I already know at some point me and the rats are going to meet again, bro. And I'll be hopefully I could hire a crew, or like I'll be more prepared for it maybe. But if not, dude, you know how much it made me appreciate the grind though, man? That grunt work, bro. Like I was busting my ass, sweating, and I didn't care. Like as much as I was in a bad mood, I would still bust it out. Like, 14-hour days at work and just come home and do the rats and not give a fuck and say, I have to do it because it's going to keep my snakes going, So it's, it's just a lot.
It is.
It's going to get better, Jason. Hang in there, buddy. I promise, man. But now that being said, how much of your stuff could go to frozen thawed if you wanted to? I mean, is there a reason why? I mean, your collection's not that big, so why don't you do frozen thawed?
I've fed frozen thawed before, and honestly, there's days I wonder why I'm still not. But it's just I do, aside from the cleaning chores and everything. It is pretty easy. It's convenient to be able to go out there and get what you need and feed that way. You don't have to go through the thawing process, and then. If they don't eat your thawed rats, what do you do with them and stuff like that? So I would imagine that a good portion of my collection would go to frozen thawed if I needed it to. But and I've actually thought about producing rats and feeding frozen thawed anyways, just producing my own frozen thawed, but I hadn't done that yet. So
because I mean, let me ask you this. Do you ever feel it helps sales when you sell a snake that is on frozen thawed or live, or do you feel like that you sell snakes no problem that if they're off live?
I haven't found too many people that are insistent on it feeding frozen thawed. If they I can convert something to frozen thawed for somebody, if it's one or two animals, that's not a problem. I can make frozen thaws and do that, but I haven't encountered that a whole lot. Usually the live rats are sufficient for them. So,
I mean, I don't know. I've also come to realize that, especially a young snake, if that snake is smashing food for you, the transition is not going to be hard at all. Period. It's just a timing thing. I even have snakes that I've bought off people that only hey man, just so you know, this thing only eats live. And I think a lot of snakes for the most part prefer live, but there's timing too. I've had that snake that only ate live where I didn't feed it. I fed everybody else and I saw it going crazy in there. And I'm like, oh, I see you, fucker. You're hungry. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I offer it like a freshly dry, my rodents, when they're I don't want to say my thaw system is legit, but goddamn, this shit's not wet. It's not soggy. It's like a fresh killed, it's warm, and whatnot. But I feel like I'm pretty good at getting any snake to want to take a frozen thawed, but it is time consuming. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It is you're sitting there and you're like, oh God, you know what I mean? Then you want to come back and go back, where if you have live, you bang them out. You know what I mean? But I want to say though, man, you have to be on top of your shit when feeding live. You cannot just toss a rat in a fucking tub, close the lights off, and call it a day for 2 days. You got to I check every 30 minutes, probably more than that, to be honest. But I know a rat or a mouse is fine overnight. It's not your snake's not going to get eaten alive for the most part. I'm not going to say it's impossible, but I know there's kind of a rule of thumb where some people say it's okay overnight. but I don't like doing that shit overnight. I rather, and sometimes I forget and I panic. I go, oh, fuck, you know what I mean? And that happens too, but you just got to be careful. Like I've gone away, luckily, with some shit where the rats or mouse have gotten a hold of the snake and luckily didn't kill it, but like it's dude, that could get brutal sometimes. And I've had customers call me fucking with horror stories, you know, because they don't really understand, and like, you know, like literally holes through the snake, and I'm just like, oh God, like that's, you know what I mean? So I do encourage anybody who does feed live out there, who's like not a big breeder, like as far as like have a lot of snakes, that just make sure you're responsible when feeding live. Like watch it all go down, have the forceps ready to go, because I am not shy to shove that shit in that fucking rat's mouth and yank it back and just fucking, you're not biting my snake, motherfucker. Sorry.
And you know, there's got to be a system too. We found to feeding live rats. We try to feed, you know, maybe a rack at a time so you can keep up with it. Right. Even as small as we are, if you got rats all over the place, it's just too dangerous. You're going to forget one. You know, somebody on the bottom shelf down there, something's going to have a rat left in there with them, and you know, it's just, you know, it takes a little longer to go rack by rack or whatever, but it's just easier for me anyways to keep up with it, because I'll leave the room and then, you know, lose my mind and forget what I'm doing and forget to check. You know, it can be a cluster, as everybody knows. So
I do want to give a quick shout out to my boy Christian Davidson over at Dorset Pythons in the UK. He has these really cool things called track tags. They're like track ID tags. Yeah. And he has like ones in the shape of a rat. He has ones of a shape of a snake. So all different types of tags that you could put on tubs to kind of remind you, hey, look, there's a rat in there. Nice. So, you know, he sent me a bunch of stuff, and I do use them. I utilize the shit out of them, and it does remind me. So go check him on Instagram. Dorset Pythons on Instagram, and ID track tags or something like that. But the link's on his Instagram account. But I think that's very important too, especially if you're just starting. Kind of keeps you in good habit of checking things. You know, like you know, after a while you become systematic. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But for the new keeper, it is bad to go through an experience like that, and it is common. I know there's new keepers who've gone through a snake getting eaten by a rat, and it fucking is pretty brutal. It sucks. Yeah. It's not fun. Do you want to hear a really bad horror story real quick?
Sure.
Okay. So this is probably the biggest reason why I was like, yes, the rats are gone, because yes, I am stupid. I am at times, and this was stupid to breed rats in the same room as your snakes, and this is what I did. Okay, I have the trap where, you know, I have all my racks and whatnot, and then inside the trap there's a room where there's a washer and dryer, and in that washer and dryer room is where I had like 4 or 5 rat racks for adult, like, you know, breeding racks, you know what I mean? So it got to a point where everything's breeding, shit's flowing, and I was getting chew outs. Like I was getting some rats chewing out, and like I couldn't keep up. And one time I had one rat get out, and he was out for a while, and I thought the fucker was gone. Like there was no trace of him. I was like, you know, putting stuff out. So, you know, I was able to see if they were out. Like I would like set little traps and whatnot. There was no sign of this guy for months. So I thought this guy was long gone. I was like, maybe he died in the walls. Thank God, you know, or something. Right. So anyways, shout out to Miguel Garcia. Miguel Garcia, for my birthday that year, sends me a pair of beautiful Solomon Island tree boas. He knows I'm really addicted to boreal snakes, so he sent me a pair of Solomon Island tree boas. These things were gorgeous. They prefer more of the lighter temperatures than like pythons and whatnot. Like they're like kind of like, you know, low 80s, high 70s type, you know, a lot of humidity, a lot of ventilation type things. So what I did was like I set them up in a big Sterilite tub, and I created a meshing lid so they could just have all that airflow. That way they just wasn't too hot in the tub. So you know that metal meshing that I'm talking about? It's like little square metal meshing, right? So I used that metal meshing as a lid, and I guess a couple weeks go by or whatnot, and I'm closing up shop in the trap, and I noticed the male, you know, they have a real skinny head, and the male was sticking his head out one of the little meshing holes, and I was like, oh shit, like, can he get out? And I was like inspecting, and I was like, oh, and like his body's way too big to get out. I was like, he can poke his head, but I I told myself I'm going to take care of that tomorrow. I'll worry about that tomorrow. It's not a big thing. I'm so tired. You know what I mean? I was working a lot that time. So I come back the next morning. turn the light on. I'm like, okay, I should probably go do that lid thing, you know. And I turn the light on and I see something white, just like curved like this. Like it's white and it's like this, and it's just hanging on the outside of the top of the lid. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? And all I can see is that white thing, and then on the other side of the meshing is a body that's still wrapped. And I look, and it's the skeleton of my fucking male's head. That the rat, so that snake was poking its head out, and the rat got a hold of his head and chewed his head off and tried pulling his body through the meshing and couldn't get it out. So like probably the first quarter part of the body was just all bone, like literally like a bone. Dude, I snapped. I like literally went through an emotional breakdown. I called my dad. I said, Dad, we need to find this fucking rat. And God bless. I blacked out. I don't know what happened. All I know is I tortured the rat. I found it, you know, and I did something really bad to it. I was literally on my wit's end. I was about to call it a quits in the hobby. I think dude. I mean, snake deaths really had a huge. I mean, they still do, but they made me cry back then. Like if a snake died, I cried. I cried like a little fucking baby. And this was a gift from one of my best friends. And this is all because negligence. Like all because I fucking have rats in the same room as my snakes. And that was the final straw right there, dude. That right there was what made me realize how stupid it is to have something, because rats are smart. Rats are super smart. This guy was out of sight for months. You know what I mean? Like he was waiting for, and he was big. Like when I found him, I don't know what he was eating.
Size of a squirrel, yeah.
Bro, he was huge. My God, bro. Like, oh my God. Anyway. So yeah, rats, no good. God bless anyone who works with rats. It's just, they could really test you and put you through it. And
no doubt.
So, all right, guys, listen, I have a wrap-up question before we get into the hot seat questions, okay? And I'm just curious because, you know, you have been in this since 2010, you know, and, you know, as far as keeping reptiles and whatnot, but how important do you feel it is for the new keeper to be on top of anything US ARC related? And I'm not just saying this because of US ARC, but as far as like how important is US ARC to you guys as far as with what's happening with these animal laws and whatnot?
Yeah, you better be on top of it if you're a new keeper, or if you're keeping anything. I mean, and we've heard in the news, I know they were talking about it. They've been talking about it. There's been a big US ARC push here lately. And it's not just reptiles, it's everything. And you know how it is. If you don't pay attention to it before you know it, it's going to be gone. So I would suggest to anybody who's new in the hobby or anybody who's in the hobby right now and hadn't joined to go ahead and join, because they're the ones that are going to be fighting for us. So.
And I went through the wording of it, and the wording of it is just absolutely insane, because it kind of opens it up to, if they get on a whim, they kind of just get to decide in whatever direction they want to go in. And I think that's absolutely insane.
It is. I mean, and the biggest thing that's insane is like how closer and closer they're trying to push this to making this a reality. You know what I mean? And it's getting to the point where it's like, what? Like, you know, and I don't know. I feel like it's going to get worse before it gets better. And you know, there's too many people just lax and sitting back for the worst to happen for them to do something about it. And I don't know why you would want to wait on that. Like, why would you even want to test that? Especially for somebody who keeps a lot of animals, especially if you're somebody whose these animals are your life. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it doesn't make any sense. So
none at all.
Anyways, guys, this was a great episode. Before we do dip out, I did not get to show my favorite snake. So let's do that before we leave real quick. Well, actually, we got hot seat questions. Hold on. Everybody gets the hot seat questions. Nice try. But guys, you know how I feel about the snake, man. Obviously I feel great about both, but this chocolate lesser DG clown, this is what connected me to you guys. Remember?
Yep.
This snake right here, this emo one right here. This snake was hatched when?
I'd have to look. It's either late December, early January. I can't remember exactly the date. It was right before it was it had time to shed and get meals in it before the NARBC, so it wasn't very old then. So
yeah, clutch mates. Were these two clutch mates?
They are not. No.
Wow.
We actually the chocolate DG clown came from a double het pairing, and then the lesser chocolate was our male to a lesser DG het clown female that we produced. So no, they're not clutch mates.
Well, guys, like I said, I will be expecting tracking information Thursday for. I'm just kidding. Honestly, guys, I'm just so happy with your work. I mean, but honestly, I would say too, the fact that you've actually been involved with ball python since 2010 makes a lot of sense. Where you're at in this game, I feel like, you're somebody who's been paying attention. You're somebody who has a significant other who's actually helping you push this further. So this is like kind of like what happens when you put in work. This is what happens when you put in research. This is what happens when you put in patience. I feel like all this shit that we're staring at, everything I'm drooling over right here, is built off of hard work and patience. And this is what the hobby is all about. And I'm super stoked for you guys. Good shit.
Thank you.
But thank me after the hot seat questions, okay, Jason? We're not done yet.
Okay.
I'm coming in hot, especially since you're teacher and the principal. I'm going to switch these up right now. This is going to be great. I'm just kidding. Lunch food prices. I'm just kidding. All right. Hot seat questions for Big Country Constrictors coming in hot. I need you guys to answer at the same time, okay? Don't look at him. You don't look at her. Let's just shoot it like Shooter McGavin. You ready? Hot seat questions coming in hot. Frozen Thought or live?
Live.
A cut or no cut?
Cut.
Day 55 or day 60?
55.
Whenever one pips.
Respect. But I need to know, 55 or 60, what would you pick?
If I hadn't pipped, 60.
Yeah.
Okay. If it hasn't pipped, 60. Respect. I like that. Red Chondro Neo or yellow Chondro Neo?
Red.
Same.
Okay. Pre first shed meal or post first shed meal?
Post.
I agree.
You're getting out of this way too easy sometimes. You have to answer. I'm just kidding. Favorite incubation temps?
89.
You're gonna go same.
He handles that.
That makes sense. Okay. Yay imports or boo imports?
Yay.
Okay. One reptile you would love to import.
Oh. I don't know.
It's got to be something hot you would love to have. Come on. You're an animal lover. Think about it. Reptiles.
What do you got?
I want
Jason,
to,
you go first, Jason.
Would a monitor lizard count?
I could think of a lot of things I want to import from Europe for sure. That counts, right?
Which one? Ball pythons?
Yeah, ball pythons from Europe.
Okay.
They got a lot of hot stuff coming up over there.
Oh,
But you can't. I'm not letting her say ball pythons though. What are you? Yeah, you can't say ball pythons.
Can I say a monitor lizard? I want a giant one. Yeah.
So Asian water monitor.
That works.
Or how about a Komodo
Biggest
dragon?
one. Yeah.
Komodo dragon.
Yes.
Thanks. All right. Yay sports or boo sports?
Yay.
Favorite sport?
Football.
To play or watch?
And in general, what's your favorite sport in general?
Basketball.
Okay. Favorite football team?
Cowboys.
Oh my God.
The Chiefs. I really like the Rams. Like I was really happy that the Rams won, but I really like the Chiefs.
Favorite basketball team?
Whoever Kevin Durant is playing for. Love him.
Oh my God. What's wrong with her, Jason?
If you say LeBron.
I'm a forever Kobe fan. So nobody
Okay.
I'm a Kobe era guy. LeBron is also like, you gotta admit who's better than LeBron. LeBron is pretty good. Durant, you said Durant, right? You're a Durant fan?
Yeah. Yes.
And respect to Durant too, but if you really look at the legacy of LeBron James, like he's a phenom. Like he's really
has been in for a while. But I have really enjoyed all these videos that have been coming up of Kobe in these clips and really people speaking out about who he was as a person and how hard he worked. So I love those.
He took the game very serious. He
Yeah.
did not like any of the fucking around or anything like that. He was about his shit, and respect to that.
Yeah.
All right.
I knew he worked hard, but I didn't know that hard.
Yeah, he was. He was about it. To miss the reptile or to not risk. Well, let's talk about ball pythons. To spray a reptile or to spray a ball python or to not spray a ball python.
Spray.
Big flexor or no flexor?
No.
No? Okay. Steak or fish?
Steak.
Favorite cut of steak?
Ribeye.
Yay alcohol or boo alcohol?
Yay.
Okay.
Van Halen or Sammy Hagar?
Van Halen.
Van Halen.
West Coast rap or East Coast rap?
Can I say South? Because I'm about Lil Wayne.
Okay, you could do 30. But isn't South? Well, he's Florida, I guess. So yeah, I guess you could say that's.
I thought Lil Wayne was Louisiana, New Orleans.
Oh no, you're right. He is Loretta. No, I take that back. My bad. He's not Florida. That's Kodak Black. Respect the South. Okay, well, the South. So he's Southern rap. You got Southern rap, and then what about you, Jason?
We'll go with
hard pass.
West Coast for some Easy E.
Okay, from NWA or what?
There we go.
All right, cool. We'll take that. Little word association. First thing to come to mind: milk.
Oreos.
Good. I don't know.
Cocoa.
A cow. I'm sorry?
Cocoa.
Blocks.
Cocoa. Nut.
Wow, I guess. Ovulation.
Eggs.
Stuck shed.
Missed.
That sucks.
Instagram trolls.
Nah.
Ain't got time for you.
If you had to pick one person to be wearing these pants, is it going to be him or her? Which one wears the pants? That's for you, Chandler. Oh, man, she just put them on. It's over. It's over. It's over. I'm just kidding. Hey, listen. Good job. You guys survived the hot seat questions. This was an amazing time. Honestly, I'm really excited to see your guys' growth into this. Cannot wait to tap into the next Arlington show because you guys will be at the next Arlington show, correct?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. But I got to say, we had well over 70 people in here at once. What do you have to say to all your supporters? What do you have to say to everyone rooting for you, everyone who's looking to have you do good in this?
Appreciate all the support. We had a great time in Arlington meeting everybody. If we didn't get to meet you this time, come out next time. I think it's in September. And like I said, just appreciate everything. And thank you very much to everybody.
Yeah, and just reach out to us anytime on Instagram. He runs most of the Instagram unless you see kind of silly, odd posts. That's me. If you want to talk to me, just tell him to pass the phone over.
Okay, I have a question, though. My sign-out question. If I need to get chocolate clown stuff, do I go to Jason or do I go to Cassie?
You can go to him, but if you're not getting the answers that you want, just tell him pass the phone over.
Or I'll just wait in person because I feel like it'd be a lot more better in person.
Here you go.
Are you going to be at the next Arlington?
I'm going to be at every Arlington, big dog. You kidding me? I'm not going to be. September. Here's the thing, too, because CRB or that Canadian show that happens, sometimes they throw that show on the same weekend as Arlington, but I already have a solution to that. I'm not going to go to the Canadian show. I'm actually going to fly out to Canada in July. So, because I'm not, dude, Arlington in September is even more fun. I can tell you that right now. I mean, whoever doesn't know that, Arlington in September is cracking. Weather is great. Cannot wait. I will see you guys in September. You guys are not going to Tinley, right?
No, not. When is Tinley? It's coming up shortly, isn't it?
Yeah, March the 16th.
We've talked about going in the fall. I think Tinley's in October, right?
Yeah, so you'll go to October Tinley, if anything.
Yeah, we're talking about going to the October Tinley. So
okay, cool. Well, yeah, Tinley is the 19th or 18th or the 20th is Tinley. So, but regardless, I will be at Arlington in September. So I will tap in with you guys, and I'll obviously talk to you guys before then. But listen, I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you so much for taking your time, hanging out with me and the viewers. And I'll catch you guys on the flip side, guys. Big Country Constrictors.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us. Appreciate the invite.
Have a good night. Okay, guys. Thank you so much.
You too. Thank you.
What a couple. Amazing stuff. Thank you guys for tapping in. Thank you so much for giving these two the time of day. And what do you know, man? He's been in the game not so new. I mean, he's been about this, and he has an amazing significant other who helps him push his stuff further. This is amazing stuff. Good stuff. I appreciate you guys. Enjoy the rest of your night. I will say I am very excited for this week's podcast Thursday night. We have Trap Talk with MJ, who's going to be going down with somebody who's no stranger in this hobby. He's been in this for quite a while. I'm sure he has tons of stories. I mean, I've heard tons of stories about him. That's all I got to say. But he's going to be tapping in, man. Check it out. We have my boy Dave Kaufman of Reptile Adventures going down Thursday, 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. This guy has a lot to say. That's all I got to say. So make sure you tap in, man. I appreciate all the support. Again, if you guys came in late, don't forget to hit that like button for this lovely couple. If you enjoyed everything they spit, all the game that they laid down for you guys, then hit that like button, please. It's never too late to hit that like button. And then drop a comment. If you guys are going to Tinley in March, just curious, not in the live chat, in the actual comments, drop a comment, please. I'm just curious. Who's going to Tinley? Pull up on me. Appreciate you guys. Have a good night. MJ signing out.